Welcome everybody to another episode of Kyber Squad. My name is Freddie Days, as you know it, and today with me, my friend Jerry. Jerry, how are you?
Howdy! How is everybody doing tonight, today, this
What's up?
afternoon?
What's
With
up with that
that,
country accent?
trying to. I'm trying to. All I can do is try, but there it is. We said Star Wars with an accent. Could be a Mexican accent. It could be something else we might think of. so, so
And
bear
what better
yourself.
accent, especially today that we're going to talk about episode 6, Return of the Jedi, the last of this original trilogy. And I gotta say, in a very personal opinion, this is the least of my favorite of the original trilogy. I mean, the original trilogy is all good, but the 6 would be like, it's okay
For you. I
for
mean,
me, for me, for
for
me.
me,
Yeah.
I can tell this is the second out of the three, or out of the first three movies. For me, it's five, six, and then four.
Like, for me, it's 5, 4, and 6. And to be honest, the very first time that I saw episode 6, I fell asleep. I actually had to finish the movie the next day because
Infidel, infidel.
I know. I mean, shame on me. I mean, the movie it's really good, but back in the day, I don't know. I feel like there was not many action, a lot of things that were like, and I don't
Yeah,
remember at what point I fell asleep. And when I woke up, it was almost the end. So I would just like pause it, and the next day I resumed the movie where on the last point that I remembered watching. But yeah, so
yeah, we're
that's me.
millennial kids. So those days you had TV, you had a lot of content out there, and this movie, which is episode six, is a little bit more political in the beginning. It's more talking, it's more strategy, it's more strategery involved in it. So as a kid those days, and I can relate to that, that first part of the movie was like, hmm, eh. But as you grow old,
Yeah, I
well,
mean,
things
you
things
like it,
change. Yeah.
and you see things differently. But let's talk to our Kyber listeners about this episode 6. So the very first thing we start with, I would say it's one of the best scenes in this movie. We start with the new what's it called? The new oh Death Star. I almost forgot the name. The new Death
The new
Star.
awe, the
In
new awe, the new
the new
awe,
I,
awe.
I was almost forgetting that. The new Death Star, incomplete. It was that Death Star. It's actually cool. It's seeing it incomplete. I don't know. It has its own thing, but we see Darth Vader getting off of his Imperial cruiser and being received by all these stormtroopers, and the classical music, the Imperial March,
Oh yes.
and having this discussion with
Thank
this
John Williams.
thank
John
you.
Williams, we love you. We thank you for that. You're greatly
So
appreciated.
so Darth Vader gets to this conversation where he's telling the general, like, I mean, the Death Star is not completed yet, so you need to step up. I mean, I need this finished for yesterday.
Yeah.
And this other guy is like, we
Very
need more
Mexican like
men.
management, it's very Mexican like management. Like, I don't know how you're gonna do it. You got less resources today than you got yesterday. So, and you gotta complete that right now. I mean, it was for yesterday. This is really common here in Mexico, guys and gals that are listening, and all of the guys and gals in between. Yeah, I mean, it is very Mexican style type of leadership. So now we've divulged
Micromanagement.
it.
After that, this guy says, like, maybe excuses, maybe not. I mean, they may be, because remember, after the first Death Star, a lot of people, a lot of workers died, so they were struggling. we gotta admit that they were struggling. So he's giving a fair point. They're struggling, but Vader is like, I don't care. You need to finish this. And the general is like, you know what? No, it's not possible. By then, Vader says, okay, you can tell the Emperor that when he gets here. And the other guy almost pisses his pants, like, the Emperor is coming.
And that is to
Like,
shorten out the phrase. I mean, peeing out his pants is just one thing. And I believe it's not even describing the whole situation. I mean, he felt something on his lower back, if we could say.
he shit his pants, like we can say. He shit his pants. So Vader tells him like, yes, he's coming. So, and remember, the Emperor is not forgiving as I am. So get to work, basically. And then, okay, that's the entire scene. Well, let's say the first scene. We cut scene and then we go to this desert, and they gave us this let's say this picture where we see a palace that we all know at this point, and it's Jabba's palace. And we see our dynamic duo, and I'm talking about R2 and C3PO.
The soap opera duel.
The soap opera duo. So they get to Jabba's palace, and they knock on the door. This little robot thingy with this little eye receives them, greets them, and opens the door. Then we
Okay,
see
Master of Effects. What does it say?
something like that. And C-3PO is like, I'm not sure if I understood correctly, but okay, we'll see. And then by the time that the door opens, they get greeted by the Uncle Wanawanga. Wanawanga. This guy, Big Fortuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. You
I always
remember.
forget his name.
Somebody did his homework. Somebody did his homework.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm used to his name, and I need to learn it because we've seen Bib Fortuna in what's it called, in the Bad Batch. We've seen him in the ending season of the Mando 2.
Coming soon.
So coming soon. I mean, the Book of Boba Fett, like Greg in this, the Book of Boba Fett has finished its recording, so pretty soon. Wait the review here in Kyber Squad. Anyways, after Bib Fortuna greets them, takes them to Jabba, and R2 shows them a message. And we see Luke Skywalker saying like, almighty Jabba, please
release my friend.
Free my friend.
They're cool.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 this and that. And this is your gift. These words are for you.
And C-3PO is like, R2 might be having a glitch. He might be showing you the wrong message, like R2. No, please. And well, I mean, they are stuck with him. But then they gave us this scene where we see Lando Calrissian in a disguise. I mean, you can actually see it. It's just a disguise with like this little, like I forgot how you call colmillos.
Fangs? Yeah, fangs, right?
Yeah, like fangs. I think they're called. But I mean, you can see it. It's this guy. And then we see another bounty hunter bringing, a bounty hunter, quote unquote, bringing Chewie, and asking for a substantial kind of credits, and threatening Jabba.
He was asking for 50,000 credits, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and Jabba, when asking like, why should I give you all this? It's like, because of this.
Yeah,
a grenade. Another special effects. So Jabba finds this amusing. So it's like, okay, I'm not gonna give you the 50, but I'll give you 35. How's that? Okay, all cool. And
Time passes
well,
by.
and, uh, and yeah, but what I was gonna say,
Before
it's
that happens, what
yeah,
happens?
Java Java always had like this party, this eternal party, and he has a Twi'lek slave, and as he was pulling his the chain where this girl was attached to, as he was struggling, Java, I don't know, he gets tired, or I don't know how many slaves he may have, but he's like, okay, he pushes a button, and then like this, he has like a dungeon or something, like a door, a trap, let's say,
Yep.
and we just hear a scream, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so time goes by, everybody's drunk, it's passed out, and then we see this this bounty hunter looking at Java's biggest prize, and we see Solo in carbonite. So the bounty hunter gets close, takes it down, and I think this kind of things have like some sort of gravity system, just like takes him out and starts defrosting of carbonite to Han Solo.
Yep.
So Han, all confused, like, what's going on? Who are you? I don't recognize your voice. What's going on? And this bounty hunter is telling him, like, you're gonna get your side on time. Don't worry about it. But Han Solo was freaking out. So when he says again, like, but who are you? Why are you helping me? Bounty hunter
Someone,
takes
someone that loves you, my little pollito.
Okay. I think we lost Freddy for a moment, but yeah, as he was saying, so there's bounty
oh,
this bounty hunter. Sorry, my accent came in so strong right now. But yeah,
the sound of relief in Han Solo's voice, like, uh-huh.
yeah, and yeah, when this bounty hunter takes up her mask, we see that the voice changes, and it's a sweeter voice, something saying, I am someone that loves you. And we see that that bounty hunter was actually Leia Organa rescuing her man. How about that?
Good feminism right there. Okay.
Good,
So,
strong
but
female character. Correcto. Correcto mundo. Mucho loco.
but it was all good to be true. I mean, we thought that it was, I mean, they were going to escape. And then we hear Java's laugh. Oh, 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 oh. So then, like, a curtain or like a fake wall opens,
Yeah.
and it was Java, Big Fortuna, his little like mascot.
Don't forget the laughs. Yes, the laughs of his monkey type of puppets that he had there. Very, very Eugenio Derbez like. So you remember the monk?
Yeah,
Loco?
and yeah.
Ah!
For those who are listening to us in the USA, Eugenio Derbez is like a famous comedian here in Mexico from early 90s.
He's now in Hollywood though, so you might know him.
Oh yeah,
You might
actually,
know him
yeah.
as Eugenio Derbez or something like
Eugenio
that.
Derbez.
Eugenio Derbez. Well, he was in Jack and Jill's movie, the one produced and starred by Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
That's one of the movies he's in, one of the most famous movies that he's in. So if you want to check him out, go right ahead.
Yeah. So Java tells him, like, oh, you poor fools, basically. So he takes Han back to this like dungeon prison where Chewie was, and he takes Leia as his new slave. And oh my God, that suit! When I saw Leia like laying down next to Java in that suit, I was like, oh
You're
my
like,
God,
hey baby,
how you doing?
how you doing? Yeah.
Like, how you doing? Oh my.
Oh my,
Very
oh my.
very provocative.
Where have you been the rest of my life? The rest of my life. All my life.
one of my first crushes back in the day.
You were just like, yeah. Oh my God. Leia. Oh, baby, Leia. Starting to love you right now.
Oh my. But so anyways, after Java was having again his party, we see that another person comes in. We hear like some again. I'm sorry. Big Fortuna again goes and check out who was it, and we see just like some movements, and goes back to Java, and it was the one and only Luke Skywalker. So he's doing this mind tricks to Bib Fortuna to translate to Jabba the Hutt, and Java is like, "You fool! He's playing mind tricks with you." So he's just like, "Get away!" So Java's basically like, "So what's up? What do you want?" And Luke's like, "I'm giving you the opportunity to free my friends." Giving you the opportunity, the audacity. How?
Yeah, he was like, "You arrogant piece of, you don't know who you're messing with." I mean, then
yeah,
they start negotiating according to Luke's thoughts. Obviously, Jabba wouldn't give in, and what happens now? Again,
so
the buzzer goes in. Luke is trapped with a Gamorrean warrior, which are these pig-like soldiers.
Today we are flawless on the sound effects. So we see why everybody was so afraid of going through this to this dungeon, because we see the Rancor. The very first time that we hear the name of this creature, Rancor. Pretty amazing creature, ugly as you can imagine. And he grabs this Gamorrean warrior and he eats it. And by then looks like, okay, I didn't expect this. He starts just like running around, trying to find a way to escape. And he sees like a door, or like a passage where it had like dual protection. So he gets there, he grabs a rock, he calls the attention of the Rancor, and by the time the Rancor is like getting his head inside, he throws the rock to this, like the button, destroys the control panel, and the door just comes down, slamming the Rancor and killing it, or killing her. It's a her, or it's a him.
It's a her. It's a her.
It's a her. Okay.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Killing her. Thank you, Wikipedia.
It's a her.
Killing her. It was all laughs and giggles until this. Everybody was shocked. They were like, "Oh yes, ha ha ha." What? Java opens his eyes like he couldn't believe that. Everybody goes and runs to see the Rancor. Like, what happened?
Yeah,
what?
Such a humongous beast, and it was defeated like that, just with the door. And then obviously Jabba gets pissed because how in the world is that possible? How can you do that, Luke Skywalker? You are doomed. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Harry Potter these days. I apologize, guys. Well, the good thing about Harry Potter there is that we have John Williams music, so that's good. That's a good thing.
That's
But
good,
anywho, coming back to the point.
Coming back to the point, so Java is like, okay, now you pissed me off, like for real. So you're gonna know what real suffering is. So he takes everybody. He takes Han Solo, Chewie, and Luke, and tells them like, you're gonna go to the Rancor. And the Rancor, I'm sorry, no, not the Rancor. It's the Sarlacc. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that name. The Sarlacc. Come on, man. Come on. And Citripio, it's explaining. At this point, he's the official translator of Java, and it's telling him that the Sarlacc, it's a beast that digests every living being or whatever it goes in for 1,000 years. So you're gonna know what real suffering is. So we cut scene and we go through this like some sort of ship looking like yeah, it's a cruiser, but like in a ship. Like we see R2 as a bartender with his little like dinghies, pouring drinks on everybody. And C-3PO is like, R2. I mean, like,
tipped, or did he though?
I don't know. I don't think so. It was all on Java. It was like Java is like, it's on me. I mean, well, if you think about it,
that's a good theory. So, and if you've made it thus far, let us know in the comment section if you think R2 got tipped for that. Let us know.
Let us know. So C-3PO is like all worried, like, oh, Master Luke is gonna get devoured. And it's like, oh, they're gonna die. And R2's like, they have a plan. Don't worry. All chill. And like, how dare you to tell me not to worry about? So we get to the Sarlacc, and they're moved to another, like 2 other little ships, and like in a very pirate movie, like in a Peter Pan movie, with the board. Like he tells Luke Skywalker to go to the board to walk over it, and he, in a, let's say in a good faith, in a good willing, tells him like, any last words? And Luke again is like, yeah, this is your last chance to surrender. Okay. Everybody's laughing. It's like, okay, you just jump. We see R2 in another part of the ship, and Luke is just like, R2 now. He jumps. He makes like a maneuver right there. He gets his lightsaber, and then we see, after, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, we see some action. Finally. We just see Luke start fighting, freeing Chewie, freeing Han Solo. At this point, Han was seeing still kind
blind.
Of blurry.
Still blind. Well, yeah, blurry. Yeah. Well, yeah, we could say that. And that's when. That's when. One of the best characters in Star Wars, Boba Fett, ends up being on Sarlacc's pauses. Out of sheer luck. One would say it was a force. I'd say it was sheer luck. So, anywho, as the last we see Boba.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like this because Boba Fett. We didn't see much of Boba Fett in the original trilogy. We didn't see him as other Mandalorians, let's say in the prequels, as let's say Jango Fett. But a lot of people said like Jango Fett died in a very ridiculous kind of way. I mean, Chewie was telling Han like, Boba Fett is behind you. And Han was with like a stick, like, where? And he hits his jetpack. He loses control and gets into the Sarlacc. So, yeah, it's like a dumb. I would rate it like in this TV show, 1,000 Ways to Die. It was very ridiculous. Yeah.
1,000 Ways to Die. This is my research. Hey, this is Boba.
Well, anywho.
And so I mean, here it's all action. Luke is destroying everybody. He's fighting against all this, the pirates or the guards that Jabba had. Leia decides to take action, and with her chain, he chokes the shit out of Jabba. Like he goes like, "Ah, I hate you." He chokes Jabba. Lando takes off his mask and starts helping them. And well, I mean, finally, they all made it out. And yeah, the entire crew, it's again together. But Luke, there is one point where Luke says like, I have to depart. Everybody is safe and sound now. So, you go your own way. I'll join you later. I have to go and finish a mission, but more than a mission, a promise to a friend.
Oh,
So
no romantic. It's
yeah,
oh,
and at this point, we all know who he's talking about. We're talking about Yoda.
Who is he talking about? Talking about
This funny master that we all know. I mean, remember that it was on episode 5. He hadn't finished his training, but he had made a promise to Yoda to go back. So we see this scene where, well, again, we don't see him landing. It's just like we cut scene, and Luke's X-wing. It's just right there parked, and Luke is talking with Master Yoda. Yoda is just like cooking. He's having like this conversation with Yoda, and he asks him this question: "Is Vader really my father?" And Yoda is like, yes.
come on. I have to tell the truth now. It's been too
Yeah,
long.
I mean, yeah, he's like, I can't escape now, and like
It is what it is.
why?
I mean, yeah. I
It is
gotta
what it
tell
is,
the truth.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, but Yoda asks, like, he told you that, and Luke tells him, yeah, I mean, he did. He told me that, and and Yoda is like, well, I mean, that's unfortunate, and Luke again, it's like, why unfortunate? And Yoda again replies, I mean, you will have to fight eventually against him. I mean, he's a Sith. So, I mean, he's your father, but he's no longer the person he used to be. And Yoda was, I mean, it was his last moment let's say that on Earth, because he
On this plane.
on this
This
plane, on this
dimension.
earthly plane, on this dimension, in this galaxy,
Ah.
he was like, whenever you're 900 years old, you're not gonna be like me. You're not gonna look like me.
You're gonna be
So-
a rotten.
but he gets like deep and philosophical and starts telling Luke, look, he basically told him, you can think or you can do whatever you want, but once I'm gone, you're going to be the last Jedi, the last person who will continue with our legacy. And Luke gets like this click, like, you're right. I mean, after you're gone, like, but Master Yoda, you can die. And Yoda is like, you know what? I mean, it's inevitable. Eventually, I'm not 100 years old. I'm not gonna be here forever. But at his last dying breath, basically, he starts telling, but there is another Skywalker. And then he dies, and he joins.
Mind blown.
He becomes one with the Force. He disappears, as Obi-Wan did in Episode 4.
In other words, he becomes a fart.
He becomes so far, like, boom, he dies. And Luke, it's like in shock. I mean, he doesn't believe it. It's like, I'm the last Jedi. And he gets off Yoda's place. And I don't know. I mean, everybody in Luke's place, in Luke's shoes, would be the same. What now? What should I do from here on? But we see this shiny, this shine of hope. We hear a voice, and I'm talking about the one and only Uncle Ben, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
El Tio
We
Ben.
see him once more as a we see him once more as how they are called, ghost, no, force ghost,
Force Ghost.
the force ghost. And then they start talking again, and tells him, and I'm sorry, and he asks Obi-Wan, like, is there another Skywalker? Do I have is there another one like me? And Obi-Wan tells him, yeah, I mean, when your father had, kids, we had to separate him, because if the Emperor knew your father had twins, they will become a threat eventually. So we had to split you.
Mhm.
And look,
And he
then
confronts him. He confronts him too, because he lied to him. And he's like, why did you lie to me, Uncle Obi-Wan? Why? Why?
technically, I didn't lie.
And he's like,
From a certain point of view.
I was telling the truth from a certain point of view. And you're like, what the? What kind of a response is that? I mean, so political. You're like, "Ugh," but you understand because it's cause.
Obi-Wan's response to that was, I mean, technically, when your father became Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker died. So from a certain point of view, I wasn't lying. Vader did kill your father. And then as they were in this conversation,
And we've reached to the middle of the podcast. If you are listening to this, if you like this, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. If you didn't like, don't forget to leave a comment. Let us know why we failed and what we failed and all that. But anywho, that's the sponsor time. So let's keep on going.
so as I was saying, when they were in the conversation, something clicked in Luke, and he tells Obi-Wan, Leia is my sister. And Obi-Wan responds, your insight serves you well. So it looks like, yeah, that's how she could rescue me back in Cloud City. Exactly. So well, I mean, that conversation ends, and Luke says, like, okay, well, you know what? I got to go. So this was the last scene we see here in Dagobah. We cut scene, and we go to this unknown base somewhere in space with all the rebels and all the high political senators. So they are saying, like, okay, some of our spies have retrieved this information. So the Emperor has a new Death Star in construction, in progress. It's not fully equipped, so but we cannot attack it because it's being protected by a ray shield that it's coming from the moon of Endor. So they are developing this plan of how to attack. And we see that at this point, the mission is going to be led by Lando Calrissian. Lando has been promoted to captain. I would say captain, right? Like the one who leads the mission, or general.
I think it was general, because Han was general. I think. Don't quote us on this because we're not sure. But yeah, then they all get together. They all raise their hands, and all of a sudden there's Luke coming out of the green room or whatever, and he's like, "I'm doing it too." my good old friend, my good buddy, I will join you too.
Oh my. And so after Luke after Luke joins the mission, well, they decide to go as spies. That they had retrieved this Imperial cruiser. They stole it. It's unknown how they got it, but they had like some security codes and whatnot to pass the blockade and go to Andor. So everybody, once they go on the mission, they were kind of nervous because they were thinking they might not be able to make it. Luke was in the ship. Vader was in the ship as well, in one of the in the starships. And then when Vader asks, like, okay, who is in that ship? Like, what do they want? Do they have permissions? The general asks, replies to Vader, like, yes, they have permission, but they're using a code that it's kind of old. Vader senses Luke, and Luke also senses Vader, and he says, like, I'm endangering the mission. I shouldn't have come.
Mhm.
And Vader tells them, let them pass.
Let them pass. Yeah. Daddy Vader. Daddy Vader.
Daddy Vader, Darth Vader, Almighty Vader.
Or in French, Darth Vader. No, Darth Vader. No, yeah, Darth Vader. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, it's Darth Vader. Something like
Darth
that.
Vader. So, anyways, so now we cut scene and we see in this, we are located now on Andor, on the planet of Andor. No, it's not a planet, it's a moon, on the moon of Andor. And
I don't know. I'm sorry, Spanish just came in.
and it's for, I don't know what, I mean, if in a very personal thought, if I think of a moon, it's like a rock, an asteroid, some sort of like, but this moon, it's an entire forest.
It was a long time ago in a galaxy far away.
In a galaxy far, far away.
That's why it's possible.
There you go. It's possible.
Mhm.
In the multiverse, it's possible.
Oh God. I believe this is a concept that we should be
We're getting geeky
familiar
here,
with,
but
because Filoni and Favreau need to fix everything JJ and Johnson screwed up. But anywho, that's not the subject. Let's go back to it.
so, anyways, as they are in a mission, they hear, no, and they don't hear. As they're on the mission, they find out that they were these stormtroopers. I think they're called scout troopers, or I don't know, but
Yeah, scout troopers. Those are scout troopers.
Scout troopers, right? And they were in the bikes. So Leia and Luke decide to go after them. They get in the mission. They destroy most. No, actually, they destroy all of them. But there is a point where they are departed. So Luke, there is, and in that point, he decides to go back to join the other guys, the rest of the team. But Leia, it's unconscious, and she is greeted by this little furry creatures. Again,
Ewoks.
I like the Ewoks. They're kind of like cute. I'm like, oh,
I don't
the
like
Ewoks.
them because how is it possible that this creature destroyed the Empire? I mean, no. That's one of the things I don't like about this episode. So, but anywho, you talk about them. Yeah, I'll just keep my mouth shut.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that we can discuss here. I mean, they are savages. Well, not savages, but they are the locals. They they know how to defend themselves in a very primitive way that the other, even though they are better equipped, but it's a forest. It's full of traps. So I mean, yeah. Anyways, Leia gets greeted by these little creatures. They take her to their base, and if I'm not mistaken correctly, when Luke gets to the base and Han asks for Leia, they decide to go and look for her. And again, at a certain point, they get trapped. So when they are trapped, they are ambushed by the Ewoks. And the Ewoks just see them as meat, as food. They take all of them to their camp, and they find out Leia there. Something that threw everybody off was that the Ewoks, as soon as they saw C-3PO, they saw him as some sort of god. So they start worshiping C-3PO, and Luke's like, tell them to let us go. I mean, you obviously have here like the high ground here. Reference there. You have the high ground and have the advantage here. Tell them to let us go, to free us. And then C-3PO tells them, they don't want to. They want to have you as some sort of tribute to me. No, not tribute. Yeah, as a tribute, as an offer to me. So Luke uses some of his Jedi tricks right there, and starts making C-3PO float, and then all the Ewoks like, oh my God, like the god is furious. He's angry.
Oh no!
No.
Stop it! Stop it! What's
No. So finally, they are all free. They are all gathered around in a fire, and C-3PO is just telling like a story tale of all the adventures they have had. And then Luke decides to go out of the camp. Leia goes behind him, and Luke takes this critical decision of, leaving the group. He was going to turn himself in because he was going to endanger the mission. Leia tells him, but there's something else that's bothering you. What is it? And Luke tells him, ask me that question later, not right now. And he goes. Han goes with Leia because, he saw them both leaving the tent, and he's like, you have feelings for him, I get it. He was getting a little bit jealous, but Leia's like, come on, like, let's go. Then we cut scene, and we are in Vader's ship. We are in the Star Destroyer, and we see the generals and the other guards retrieving Luke to Darth Vader. It's like, we have found this rebel, and he was armed only with this, and he gives Vader Luke's weapon, and Vader is like, I see you created a new lightsaber. Yeah, you built a new lightsaber. Your training is complete.
Training is complete. Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, now I'll take you to the Emperor. And they have this conversation like, I know the conflict in you, Father. Oh, because he's like, yes, Father.
So you finally have okay, go. What was the phrase? Your finally,
training is complete.
Well, the training that was complete, yes, but there was other phrase that he did, or he said, about him grabbing the actual truth to himself or something like that. But anywho, yeah.
Yeah, because Luke refers as Vader as father. He's Vader says something, and Luke is like, yes, father. He's like, huh? So you've accepted the truth, finally. And so Luke is like, no, I know that's good in you. I can feel the conflict within you. There is no conflict within me. You don't know the power of the dark side.
Yeah, yeah, because Luke tells him something about Anakin Skywalker, that he has accepted the truth that his father was once Anakin Skywalker. Am I right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Vader says, if I'm not mistaken, Vader says, that name means nothing to me.
Yeah. That name has no longer meaning to me. Something like that.
So,
but anyway, yeah.
Vader,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Luke didn't do anything to Vader.
Yeah, so he says he's not gonna do anything. Luke says he's not gonna do anything. Vader ends up taking Luke to the Death Star 2, and that's when we see Emperor Palpatine.
Well, for you, Jerry, because to me, Emperor is just like, yeah.
Then that's
so,
yeah. Go ahead.
And that's when we see finally like the final action, and this is the final. This is where everything wraps up. We see Vader next to the Emperor. Palpatine is telling Luke. He's asking him to join the dark side, to be his student. And Luke is like, I'm never join you. We're going to destroy you. And Palpatine tells him like, you fool. Who do you think gave all the information to your friends? And just the moon, FYI, the Death Star, I'm sorry, it's fully equipped.
It is
By
fully
this,
operational.
by this, we see Lando, we see, what's the name of this captain? This Mon Calamari? Akbar. We see Captain General Akbar, like, get ready to attack. By the time out of hyperspace, we see the Death Star attacking them. And we see this famous phrase from General Akbar. It's a trap.
There you go. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you listen to that? Yes.
It's a trap. And then Luke starts watching all this action from the chamber of Palpatine, and he's like, oh my god, what have we done? Like, I hope they
like, come boy, see for yourself. From here you will witness the final destruction of the Alliance and the end of your insignificant rebellion. No, and then he has Luke's lightsaber, and he touches it, and he's like, "You want this, don't you? The hate is swelling in you now. Take your Jedi weapon.
Good.
I am unarmed. Strike me down with it. Give in to your anger.
I can feel your anger.
You make yourself more my servant." Then looks like, no, because I'm a goody two shows type of character. It is unavoidable. It is your destiny. You, like your father, are now mine. And now you will die. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Yeah, Palpatine is one of your favorite characters. I understand it.
Yeah.
And so here at this point, we have like scenes back and forth, we go back to the Endor moon, and we see Han, Leia, Chewie. We see everybody getting to the base where they're having or deploying this ray shield to the Death Star, and I mean, again, it was a trap. They thought they were going to destroy it. They were finally good to go. But then another squad of stormtroopers go again inside, and they make them prisoners once more. But then they didn't count with the help of this Ewoks. And then is when this action that Jerry doesn't like, it takes place. All the Ewoks go.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, and okay, they start throwing rocks, sticks, arrows,
Dogs, everything they can.
everything, and eventually they win. Funny there, they win. Probably, I mean, this could be my theory, but probably because they were a big population of Ewoks. I mean, maybe they outnumber them. I don't know. But anyways, the Ewoks help the rebels, and they blew out this base. They blew out the base where there were the ray shields, and then they start fighting. Then they are like, okay, this is our chance, finally. But then we go back to the Emperor's scene, and I don't remember what Palpatine says, that Luke was just like, he was over with it. He uses the Force, he retrieves his saber, and he was going to strike down Palpatine when Vader blocks it. And we see,
Good.
and and then we see the final and more intense fight between Vader and Luke. I mean, they were going at it like bah, 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 bah. They were just back and forth, back and forth. And then we see one of this. I haven't seen this power or this, let's say, stunt with the lightsaber as much as we see in the original trilogy, where Vader throws his lightsaber and then retrieves it. I haven't seen that in the prequels.
No, me neither.
But Vader, I mean, Luke jumps off to a bridge in that chamber or in that headquarters, and he goes down like some sort of stairs, the basement. I don't know. Vader goes with him, and Luke, he's just hiding, but his thoughts betray him. Vader, he was talking, and he was like, "If you will not join me, maybe your sister."
Sister, yeah.
Your sister. You have a sister. Maybe she will join me. Never. And again, they go at it. Luke using, I would say, the dark side. I mean, he has like this strong emotions. He goes at it at Vader until he finally cuts his arm again.
Poor Anakin.
Well, poor Anakin.
So yeah. And then he throws away his lightsaber, and he's like, "No, I will not fight anymore."
Yeah. Palpatine was like, "Strike him down."
He was like, "If you will not return, you will be destroyed." He does his hand thingy. Please. Only now, at the end, do you understand? Your people's kills are no match for the power of the dark side. Now, you will pay the price of your lack of vision. Now, young Skywalker, you will die. And then that's when Vader is no longer there, Anakin resurges from the ashes, and he saves his little boy.
Yeah, we see
Carrying the
here
Emperor.
the return of the Jedi.
The return of the Jedi. Carries the Emperor, throws him away. He
He
dies.
says, no, no, no. He grabs Palpatine. And Palpatine, I mean, he's still throwing his like force
Lightning.
lightning,
Force lightning. It's a force lightning.
striking Vader. Pa, pa, pa. Another.
Yep. All happened because while the Emperor was force lightning Luke's ass, well, he was like, "Father, help me! Father, he's too strong. Now I regret throwing my lightsaber." Ah!
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the redemption of Darth Vader. Then Luke sets out to rescue his father, to take him somewhere where they can attend him. And in the end, he's like, "Luke, help me take my mask. Luke, help me take my mask off." He's like, "You will die." He's like, "Nothing can stop that from happening now." So he takes off his mask, and Luke is like, "My little papa." And we see Anakin fading away. He doesn't become a fart though. He just dies. But that is death of Darth Vader. Well, Anakin Skywalker, precisely.
Exactly. At this point, it's fair to say that we can call him Anakin. It's Anakin returns. So well, Luke just escapes. He takes Vader. We see Lando going into the Death Star with another X-wing, and they
Yeah.
kaboom
They
from the
kaboom.
Death Star.
Kaboom the Death Star. They kaboom the Death Star.
We see this big kaboom from Endor Moon. Everybody's celebrating, and it's just a big party everywhere. The news travel far again through the galaxy.
Yeah.
Everybody's celebrating, and the Empire, it's destroyed. Finally, no longer exists.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, that's basically the end. But before that, we are back in Endor. So Leia approaches to him and tells him like, but what's wrong? And this is when Luke finally it tells, well, we can say the truth, or not the truth, but the secret he didn't reveal earlier. He tells him, "You're my sister," and Leia tells him like, "You know what? I suspect that. I knew it. If you ask me personally, this is kind of weird because when did you realize there was something like, we can say like a bond, because you kissed him, you kissed your brother, like you." But anyways, Leia tells him like, "Yeah, you know what? I suspected that." And Luke goes uh, goes back to his own thing, watching to the horizon, and Leia goes back to the camp, to the celebration, and Han Solo is like, "You know what? I know you have feelings for him. I'm not gonna get in between you guys. I'm gonna let you guys live your own thing." And Leia, it's like, "You silly. He's my brother.
Oh, you silly boo. You silly boo.
He's my brother." And
Like,
he kisses Han, and Han is like, "Wait, huh? What?" We
you
see
kissed
this.
your own brother.
Yeah. We see this face like, first it was like a relief, like, "Oh, okay, but then confused, and then like, wait a minute.
Yeah. And then he gets kissed. So it's like, what?
Yeah, wait, what? And Luke is just is looking at the horizon, and then we see Obi-Wan, we see Yoda, and the new member. We see Anakin Skywalker joining the Force Ghost. He became one with the Force. He goes back, hugs Han, hugs Leia, goes to the celebration. The Force Ghost.
What would it be if he hugged Han, Leia, and then kiss them both?
Kiss of 3.
Let's do everyone.
And then the end.
You need take.
The end of this amazing trilogy. I mean, the 3 movies, great. I mean, I liked it, but again,
Not your
had
favorite.
not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, still, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I can say the same. I mean, really, not my favorite either, but not my worst. It's not episode 8, so at least there we're winning. So
Yeah.
But anywho, guys, gals, all of you in betweeners, thank you for listening. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Let us know what you liked, what you disliked, all of it. Subscribe. You know what to do.
You know what to do, guys. Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the comments which one is your favorite movie from the original trilogy, episode 4, 5, and 6. Let us know the order. Let us know, as Jerry said, what did you think about our storytelling? Subscribe, hit the little bell, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Instagram,
And now
and
on TikTok.
now on TikTok.
At Kyber Squad altogether.
At Kyber Squad. Thank you for listening to us, guys. As always, it's a pleasure, and we'll see you in the next transmission.